You're watching Amakosi for live. I have Football Stalkers in the house today. How you guys doing, guys? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Hey! Thank you for having us.
Awesome, guys. It's been a while since I've seen all of you, and actually missing everyone.
It's been a while since we've seen anyone.
Yeah. How's the lockdown going, guys?
It's going down.
Yeah, we're going to level 3 now. Are we ready for level 3? What's happening? Monday. Are we running to the which stores? You know which stores I'm talking about?
Yes, we don't do that in this household. We don't do that.
We don't do that.
6 a.m. 6 a.m.
But
we know who the alcoholic is now.
We all know.
Cool. So before we start,
is it me? Wait, is it me or does Ivan give everyone that whole "I'm a king" vibe? Like,
yeah,
oh my God,
he's got a throne.
I'm Mr. Koza.
The PSL chairman, of course.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Ivan Koza.
I want to be chilled.
Oh no, that's good, man. It's nice to see everyone is still in cheery spirits and happy. So yeah, just each of you introduce yourself to the audience, and maybe a little background about how you guys got started with Football Stalkers and stuff. You can start with the black LG in the corner.
Okay, hi everyone. I go by the name Huitsona Rabutapi, aka Black Girl G, and I'm one of the members of the Football Stalkers. I'm also one of the favorites, so please do.
We will get to that a bit later.
Please do follow me on Instagram at Black Girl G, Twitter at Rabutapisana, and YouTube at Black Girl G.
Nice. Follow. We'll shout out again to everyone's handles later as well. Yolisa, are you next? Show us what you got.
No, it's Mr. Ivan. We're saving the best for last.
Excuse us. I mean, you know, it's your boy, the master tactician fan, Kaizer Ivan. You know it.
No, we don't know it.
Well, they.
Yeah, Lisa.
Yeah.
Right.
They know who they know.
They don't know, hence you're telling them, right? I mean.
Okay, cool. Shame. Okay, they will know later on. Now, throughout the discussion, I think they will eventually know who you are. And Yolisa, you said save the best for last.
Oh yes. The queen herself, Queen Shade, Queen everything, huh? That's what it is, huh? It's Yolisa, but y'all know me as just y'alls, and on Instagram it's just y'alls _ and on Twitter JYalls.
Nice.
Now that was an introduction, right?
Yeah. Dope. Nice. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. So what I wanted to ask everyone is about, we haven't seen any football action in South Africa for the last 2 months now, and I wanted to know how your feelings are and what have you been missing, you know? What's your sentiments?
Well, obviously, I mean, we've been missing the action, you know, the excitement, the interviews from coaches, especially when big games are playing or coming up. You know, so it's been quite weird not watching games, especially during the week. One of the games I miss, obviously, are like the big games, you know, the Soweto Derby, you know, the Tshwane Derbies. So it's been quite a challenging time for us football lovers.
Yeah, I actually miss having a good excuse for being out late at night. You know, it's so boring. Like, all you do is stare at the same things on TV, the same things every day. Like, guys, I'm so out of touch. Like, I probably
DSTV must fall.
Yeah. Hey, but we're not saying that here. They might be our future employers.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'll edit
Not.
it out. I'll beep it out. I'll beep it out and edit.
Yeah, wait.
And Ivan, yeah, man, how you feeling?
Listen, man. Obviously, interviews with the fans, because you get the most craziest reactions, raw emotions from the supporters and stuff, and also, you know, the vibes at stadiums, the goals, the celebrations, you know. You miss all of that, and just pure entertainment of what we see on the field.
But obviously, in Pirates' opinion, lack of goals, isn't it? You missed the lack of goals from Pirates.
Woo! Whoa!
Yo!
Oh. Spicy much?
Yo!
One thing I can say, man, that at least one hasn't been missing is banter has always been there. People are each other. Hey, even DJs are holding each other. I don't know what's going on, but that's.
Oh yeah, DJs. Oh, that's
got a
bit
Twitter
down.
is the place to be during this lockdown. Twitter is the place to be. Everything is going
The
down.
streets are lit.
Every day we have a new person falling. We've got beef, we've got everything.
But I know one thing I miss. I know one thing I miss is always having to argue with Sundowns fans about their coach. Oh,
bruh.
That I
those
miss.
nasty little shady comments they throw in.
Yeah, dude.
I miss annoying Ivan, you know, like I miss seeing the disappointment on his face when he realizes that Kaizer Chiefs is actually leading. Like, I really miss that.
I'm out here missing guys, and then now being told they're missing me, having a bad mood, and
we miss you.
Yeah, man, the same here. Like the energy from the stadiums. I miss the fans. I miss actual football. Even just watching, on TV, just seeing that it's. And even I don't know if any of you also just play football, but I also play on during the week as well. And I'm just missing that as well. And now I just feel so unfit and overweight being at home. I mean, we try and exercise and do things, but it's not the same as going out there and playing, you know? So that's I'm really missing football, of course. And obviously now, with COVID-19, what has been your feelings with COVID-19 and football? You know, we've seen some leagues resuming already. We know the German league has started overseas. Soon, I think the Spanish and Italian leagues are going to start. I think the other day there was an announcement that the English Premier League will also start in June sometime. What are your feelings about how things are going in our country? And are we ready to kind of start? I know there's been an announcement by PSL the other day that they're thinking about 1st of July starting the season again. Are our players ready? Are our healthcare systems ready? Are we ready as fans?
You know what it is? I don't think it's a matter of like knowing if we're ready or not. Like the country as is already, without a doubt, we are in a may the best immune system win type of thing, you know. So whether or not the season resumes is kind of like the same. Really, it makes no difference. You get me? But I think the way the president handled the situation from the get-go to, let's say, maybe 2 weeks back, it was proper. I was all for the lockdown until we started discovering things about people that we live with. And we realized that maybe we can live with you. You know?
What is this subtweeting? I'm not getting the subtweeting going on here. What's going on? Is there subtweeting? It's only a girls only thing, eh, Ivan? Are you understanding also?
I don't even want to understand, because I kind of can get where she's going with this, so I wouldn't want to ask.
Okay, our audience is going to be very lost also. So you better explain. The audience has to know.
No, it's fine. It's okay. It's cool.
Why would you bring that up? We're talking about football here.
You know what? I'm sorry. Like, I just needed to vent, kinda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been.
So this is the platform.
Like,
Okay, fine.
Hape ke ntwena ba re ke eng, o jewa ke eng?
I understand what Delisa is saying. I mean, the fans are always ready. I think we've been, because we miss football so much. But looking at the current state of our country, I don't think it's safe, or we are ready for anything to actually open or start at this point. I mean, also if we look at players like Benutwari who have tested positive for the COVID-19, I feel like it's still a bit early for us to start talking about maybe like for footballers to go back to training or football to resume. So I think at this point, we still need to still chill a bit, stay in lockdown until we flatten the curve for real. Guys, they're saying we're flattening the curve, but the curve keeps on going up and up. But it's, so I just feel like for now, we just need to stay in lockdown and just do what we need to do so that we can flatten the curve.
Yeah, but
you know what it is, G? You know what it is? The way I see it. This thing is a battle of like choosing to save lives or the economy, right? Yeah. So should the season resume, we're choosing the economy.
True.
Should we okay, well, it is going on. Well, it's going to resume, right? Yeah. So they chose the economy. But now, what about the lives of other people? But also, the lives are affected if we remain on lockdown, because these players, come to think of it, some of them may not have been wise enough to make other investments in other departments or sectors or whatnot. So now that they on lockdown, it's kind of hard to maintain the lifestyle that they lived before. So they're also pushing for the season to resume. You get me?
Yeah.
It's
right now, it's not about
predicament.
Yeah,
it's not about the lifestyle.
So I think what's happening now also is they have, I don't know how and who they're consulting with, because there are doctors from the club doctors. I know the Kaizer Chiefs club doctor came out and said yesterday that the country itself doesn't have enough testing capacity, and how the way it's working in Germany and other places. Obviously, it's Germany. They have a lot more money than our PSL and stuff like that. And so they're able to actually test their players before and after games, and then also before training every day. I think or every 2 days there's testing going on. We do not. I don't think we have the capacity to do that. If that's the model we're going with. So, and that's the only way we can kind of continue with training and try and continue restarting the season. And that's why it comes to the other question about, do we restart the season? Do we cancel the season? What they're saying is consider it null and void, just start afresh next season. Or, where I'm going on the third one. Give the title to Kaizer Chiefs, guys.
Let's give it a bitter pill to swallow for Ivan.
Let me come in a bit.
Ivan hasn't said anything yet.
With regards to your first one, just to touch on what Yoli said about it's having to have a balance between health and the livelihood of people. Like for instance, we know that Patrice Motsepe made an announcement saying that there's not going to be any pay cuts from Sundowns players. Now, I haven't heard anything from Pirates, from Chiefs, but I can guess that from the lower divisions, or let me say from the lower clubs, pay cuts have been something that
Amazulu and Cape Town,
where players are not being paid. So you look at that. So obviously players from those clubs would probably want to go back and play so they can make money, right? With regards to what needs to happen, well, look, I think clubs need to, let's say, we know that from schools to whatever industries that will open up now, there are measures that were put in place beforehand, or there were announcements being made and saying, listen, so and so is going to open, and these are the measures that needs to be in place. The same needs to be done if the PSL is to resume, that players are going to be tested 3 times a day or whatever. And if I were to put in my 2 cents and suggest, I would say it needs to be sort of like a camp type of vibe. So players can't go to their homes and go to gym, go play. All players, the whole team must stay in one place. That way you avoid any outsiders coming and infecting.
Yeah.
And then you play with other clubs. And obviously spectators can't be allowed to go to games.
Yes.
And I think that is something that could be managed, and the league can resume. Which then I'm leading to your second question in saying that I think it's in the interest of the PSL to resume rather than to cancel it. Because remember, the PSL makes money from broadcasting money. They make money from broadcasting money. They make money from sponsors. That's the 1 billion that Ivan Koza announced comes from these two. Now, broadcasting pays you per games. Now, if you saying you're not going to finish the league, that means they're going to deduct the money they're supposed to pay you. And when it comes to sponsors, same thing. Sponsors now, obviously, they'll be like, well, now that you've canceled the league, we now going to have to prorata the money that we're supposed to give you for a full season because you're not going to be finishing. So I doubt that the league would want to cancel. They would probably try by all means to finish it some way or another.
That's a very tough thing to say, though, because I mean, what do you like? I think Yoli or G said, it's you got to weigh up now. Is it the safety of the players are more important, or like is an economic thing? Is it your money that you're worried about? It's tough. So
it's really tough.
Look, it's a tough one. The thing is, here's a question. Say, for instance, they consider obviously the safety and they're thinking, okay, let's call this thing off, null and void, or maybe hand Kaizer Chiefs the league. No more games are going to be played for the remainder of the season. Now, it's going to have a huge financial impact on the league to a point where now questions are going to be asked, is the league going to be able to even start the following season? Because they won't have money. They're going to have to pay back money to sponsors and broadcasters. I saw a breakdown of, now we've been told about the revenue, but we haven't been told about the profits. Now, obviously, the profit is probably, as a company, your major item would be how much money did you make? Revenue is revenue, because that includes cost and everything. Now, the profit that they're making is nothing, I promise you. We're talking about, I think I saw probably like 60,000 overall. That's nothing. 60,000 profit. So if
is nothing.
If are going to take their money back, then the league is probably going to be in minus. And are they going to be able to start the new season? Because remember, they're paying grants to teams for participating. To obviously run their clubs and all that.
I think it's about 2 million rand, I think, the grants.
Yes. Now, are they going to be able to do that? I don't think so. So as much as we can talk about health for players and coaches and stuff, but if we look at holistically, will the league be able to continue if we don't finish the season?
It's a tough one, because what's going to happen, or predictions are, if they start in July again, apparently we're going to see our peak, we're going to see almost like a relapse of COVID. So, it's either we just risk it all, or it's a tough one, guys. It's very tough.
At this point,
we wouldn't mind Kaizer Chiefs taking it. Hey, like
honestly, like let's do realistic.
Why are we launching Kaizer Chiefs? Why are we launching Kaizer Chiefs?
No, because we're on top of the league. Look, the example.
Exactly.
We've seen the example. We've seen in Percy Tau's Club Brugge in the Belgium league. They gave them the title. They cancelled the title. In France.
Wait. Now, if we need to look at the detail. We can't just name drop. The club were handed the league because they were 15 points ahead of number 2.
PSG also got the title, right?
PSG also got the title.
They were ahead. It's not about points.
Exactly.
Thank you.
The fact is they are number 1.
And then the other, okay. Yeah, carry on, Evan.
No, what I was gonna say was, listen, Club Brugge was 15 points ahead with 1 game left. So mathematically, they've won the league. I think we need to compare apples with apples. Now, if we look at league where comparison to the PSL, for instance, Bundesliga, where the points difference between number 1 and number 2 was 4. If you look at La Liga, points difference was 1. If you look at Serie A, points difference was 3. Those leagues.
PSG also cancelled this season. The French league was also cancelled.
Yes. If you look at, let's say, for instance, the Premier League, Liverpool are 25 points ahead, right? But Man City still has a mathematical possibility of.
So it's all about the maths, basically. In your opinion, it's the maths.
We know realistically.
It's not about the maths. It's really not about it. If Sundowns was leading, Ivan's views.
They were gonna give it to them.
Exactly. Bias.
The only reason Ivan isn't agreeing to what you're saying, Mish, is because he has a bitter heart. He knows that we're gonna have one ab.
Okay.
Let's not play the man. Let's not play the man. Let's play what is.
I'm gonna go back to being a bit honest. Wait, let's be honest a bit, right? I would feel also a bit hard done by the fact that we would win the league on a technicality, because for the rest of our lives we'll hear Sundowns and Pirates fans telling us we only won the league because of COVID-19.
Sure.
And I don't want to hear that.
It's always been like
that.
In the world of sports, it's like that. Boxing, it's either you win by 12th round or by total knockout. So I wanna, in this situation,
listen.
It's not even like, guys, come on.
This is my view. And look, obviously you guys might say that because I'm a Sundowns fan, I'm biased and all that. But the thing is, the Sundowns has still a chance. Not just mathematical. We're talking a 4-point difference between number 1 and number 2 with the game in hand. With 8 games to go. And if anything, if we look at the past 2 seasons, the league has been decided on the last game. So given that, I feel like it will be unfair. But I have an exception. Let's say, for instance, all PSL chairmen or whatever meet up. If it comes down to a democratic vote, I can accept that. If clubs say, listen, the way it is at the moment, let's consider it as the finish of the season. Hand Chiefs the title. Those teams at the bottom must be relegated.
But that's not fair. Can I tell you why? I tell you why it's not fair? Because as you said, the big teams like both Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs, and Pirates, they have enough money to sustain their players, right? And we have more teams that are obviously like below and get both Chiefs, the Sundowns. They aren't able to sustain their players' salaries. So they're gonna opt for a continuation where it's gonna lead to that when it comes to that vote, it's gonna come to a point where those teams are obviously gonna have the upper hand in terms of Huri. And there's more of them. So they're gonna vote Huri. Let it continue. That's needed, to be honest. Like it really doesn't.
But then, guys, I'm asking the question that look, we live in a democratic country and majority rules. Wait. So majority rules.
Whether you're democratic country,
or whether you're
democratic country,
let's not bring politics into this.
It's just a front.
I was just making an example.
I'm sorry, in terms of being a politics student.
Wait. All I'm just saying is I don't want to bring politics. I was just making an example to say that I feel like if majority of clubs want to do this, I feel like it's fair rather than let's say the PSL board taking a decision and saying, because remember, if you're going to hand Chiefs the title, then you have to relegate the teams at the bottom. You also have to go to championship and promote. Now, Amazulu and all those guys can tell you that they had a fighting chance of avoiding relegation. Now you're taking that away from them.
But we're not working on what ifs or what could have been or should have and whatnot. No, we're working on something that's substance. Okay?
Exactly. Like we're number one. That's that. Untitled Chiefs. Let's move on. Let's start
let me give you a scenario also, right? I'll give you another scenario that actually I spoke last week on my Instagram live. You guys can go back and watch the video. I spoke to the KCFC.
Are you hungry, Mitch? Are you hungry?
I had breakfast. Sorry, not like I don't want the conflicts. Kaizer Chiefs, the guy, the chairman from the Atteridgeville branch, and he told me that his solution is give the title to Kaizer Chiefs, but split the pot, the money that goes to Kaizer Chiefs, split it between the top 4 teams, and then next season don't relegate anyone, increase the number of teams to 18. So means keeping the bottom 2 in the league and bringing the top 2 from the Glad Africa Championship into the league. So everything's fair. Everyone can be happy. Done.
Not really, because not everybody's going to be happy. You'll have obviously that proposal seems to me like
that's the most democratic, isn't it? Isn't that sound democratic to you?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, listen, look.
Do you want me to answer you, Ivan? I'm pretty sure the response I have for you right now is something else. Okay,
let him finish.
Yeah, if that proposal is then approved or let's say voted by most clubs, like I said, I would accept because majority rules. But I have a problem with the board taking the decision on their own. I'll give examples. You mentioned other leagues in Europe. Serie A, they did exactly that. Clubs voted to resume the league and finish it. La Liga, the board, obviously, for money reasons, obviously, took a decision that they're going to finish it off, considering the fact that you have 2 powerhouses who are fighting for the league. And if you hand the other one, there's going to be problems, I promise you. And obviously relegation as well. I forgot to mention the one in the Dutch league. What they did there, the board took a decision to cancel the league. They basically call it a null and void, right? And what they then ended up doing is I think they relegated the teams at the bottom, but Ajax didn't win the league. There's problems there. People are fighting.
They went to court. I think they went to court over it.
Exactly, and that's what I'm pointing out. That I think the moment you as a board you take a decision like that, you are bound to be challenged by obviously those who feel aggrieved. But I feel like probably if it becomes a vote thing where you're just saying, listen guys, clubs must vote as to what needs to happen, I think probably then whatever outcome comes out of it, people would probably accept it more than just the board taking a decision on their own.
True. Okay. Good opinion. But look, at the end of the day, we need to just wait and see, because the PSL is still discussing. I saw they had a meeting on Thursday or Friday about those 2 options. The other option I saw, one of the things that Soccer Laduma reported on, I'm not going to say that PSL said it, but Soccer Laduma said World Cup format was one of the things they're looking at. So when I think of World Cup format, I'm like, how is that going to work? So they're going to split the whole league into groups, basically, and then each team will play each other, and then there'll be like a knockout, and then that person's going to win the league. I don't think that's going to work. That's not going to work. Telkom knockout, and I don't think that's going to work, or like Nedbank Cup all over again. So I don't think that's fair, because then I don't know, Super Sport United will end up winning the league or something.
The one I read up was the one about the World Cup format. I remember they said something about the World Cup format basically is you play in a certain place, many games and all that. And I think generally they say the Northwest because they have low infection.
Oh, is that what they mean? Okay.
But the problem with that is you only have Royal Bafokeng Stadium. That is standard, right? The standard. But other stadiums in the Northwest are not, the standard is not that okay. But the only province in the country that you can say have PSL standard stadiums is Gauteng, with Makulong Stadium, with Loftus, with Lucas Maripe, with FMB, with.
What about no, I don't think you could say that. I would disagree. What about Bobela?
Doesn't have as many.
Oh, you mean
it
like
doesn't have
as many
Remember,
what?
Gauteng, you have the Highlands
stadiums. Okay, yeah.
You have the Makulong Stadium, Highlands Park. You have Betwest Vets Stadium. You have Sundown Stadium. In this case, it could be.
Okay, is that what you mean? Yeah. All right.
You have FMB. You have Orlando Stadium. You have Dobsonville. So, but now the problem with, as much as they have all these stadiums, Gauteng is also a hotspot in terms of having high.
It won't work.
Yeah.
So that also creates a problem. I don't know. It's a difficult one, guys. It really is. But look, if I were to put my head on the chopping block, I would say that the PSL is going to try by all means to finish the season. They're not going to cancel it.
Okay, let's wrap this question up. I want one last. Everyone can just give me an answer. So, G, what is your opinion? Last one: cancel, continue, or what was it? Just cancel, continue, or Chiefs?
Chiefs.
Yolisa, cancel, continue, or Chiefs?
You ask.
And then you guys say I'm biased. And then you guys say I'm biased.
So I got 2 votes for Chiefs, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And Ivan?
Me, continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to be biased. I'm going to be biased, and it's going to be 3 against 1, you know? So I'm going to for live.
What a shocker! What a shocker!
No, but I do agree that I'm a bit on the fence. I am on the fence because I'm a bit on the fence because I do think it's unfair to the teams who are at the bottom and to Pirates, not to Sundowns.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. The next question that we wanted to speak about is there are players' contracts that end in the end of June. End of June, the contracts run up, you know. And if they're going to start in July again, what is your opinion? Should they be able to continue playing for their clubs, or
they must survive,
or must they move on? You know, find another club. And if they do move on, just say people like we saw George Malulega has joined Sundowns. You know, will he be allowed to play for Chiefs still, or is the PSL going to?
No.
Can he go to Sundowns?
No, don't want him. Don't want him.
I think if the PSL was to resume, I think it would be fair for him to finish the season off with Kaizer Chiefs before going to Sundowns. But if it's cancelled, then he must move. He must just leave.
Not just him. Look, let's not just use him as an example, because there's players who just have contracts hanging in the balance, so they don't have clubs either. So does this mean they're not eligible to play? This means if we play someone, it's illegally playing them, basically.
Actually, okay. My initial answer, which was they should buy, right? I just changed it now. Considering what you just said when you said there are players that need to get their contracts in order, right? So I don't think it's fair for them to just like George Malulega move and then other players are stranded because the contract has ended and they have no other new contract that they have entered into, right? It's not fair in a sense that they, like, obviously clubs right now are not looking to sign considering how this thing has affected everyone. So they're not gonna like buy other players with hopes of like how do I put it? I'm trying to find the right wording. They're not gonna buy players or sign players right now, and like we can't negotiate fairly, basically. Like you get me? So there's a higher chance of these players being clubless if their contract ends, and like they're gonna be clubless.
Let me come in there for a while. So, what obviously the question is a contractual issue. So you need to look at it from a contractual base. So there's a lot of links. For instance, the league calendar, right? We start there with the league calendar. What's going to happen with the league calendar? Are they going to adjust? For instance, the transfer market. We know transfer market opens off season when the league finishes, and this is roughly around that time, June, July, and all that, right? Are they gonna change the window? Assuming that, let's say, the league will continue, or are we gonna start a new season where now obviously the window's open now? So that's number one. Number two is contractually is obviously if you look at players contracts include they get paid per them, let's say, pitching up on the pitch to play the match. They get paid for that. So now if they're not gonna, let's say, pitch up for the 8 games remaining, that means they're not gonna get paid for that. So all those things need to be looked at from a contractual point of view. Where is the league gonna resume? Are they extending? Whatever. And also, let's say, look at the George Maluleka situation, because now if I'm looking at that, Sundowns Chiefs and George Maluleka needs to all sit down. Where Sundowns was expecting George to come in, obviously, in the off, right?
Yes.
But now, if the league is continuing, is then Kaizer Chiefs, are they going to say, okay, we want George to be here for us to finish the season? So that means we're going to have to amend our contract to extend it for 2 months or 3 months.
Yeah.
And Sundowns then have to amend their contract as well. Or, I mean, the same as, let's say, you guys spoke about players that are potentially going to be free agents or whatever. That also affects clubs in saying, are we then allowed to go buy players, or are you just going to extend this thing? So it's a very complex situation, but it will all be determined what the league decides and them adjusting the calendar, and then obviously contracts need to be renegotiated and all that.
There's a lot of red tape, basically.
Yeah. It's very complex.
Okay.
Very complex.
Yeah, I mean, we still have, I think, I don't think Kuna has signed a new contract yet either. And he's still, we're still negotiating. And we were able to get Castro now. Castro luckily signed a new contract, but I think Kuna is the one they're working on now. So let's hope. I don't know where Kuna is going to go, though.
I mean, it seems like Kaizer Chiefs is sleeping when it comes to contracts of players. I mean, why are they negotiating?
They always do this. They always do it like a last-minute thing. It's because from what I've heard from a source, I'm not going to tell you who the source was. But he said they always kind of stingy with the money. This is a former Kaizer Chiefs player who told me this. They always don't, and I think this is public knowledge, that they always try to pull you like right till the end. You might be pushing for a little bit more money, because you've been at the club, you've been a good servant, you want to get paid nicely, and you also want to get paid fairly also, because there's players like Billiard who are making apparently 500,000 per month. I don't know if that's true. That was the rumor at the time. So they all they see players like Billiard, and they're also they're playing week in, week out. They're putting in the good performances, but they're not seeing that kind of money. So they try to push for that thing, and then Chiefs are like holding out, they hold out. And eventually the window comes to an end, and then they're free agents. So that's the thing. Chiefs there's a power struggle, I think, between.
And it would make sense, because I mean, if you look at the George Lewis situation and you look at the George Maluleka situation, it's basically the same thing. George Maluleka is probably looking at a higher pay, at this point, because we probably know that he's not going to get much game time when we're being realistic at Sundowns. But when you're looking at the money, he's going to get paid pretty well. So yeah.
Because look, guys, I mean, it's sometimes people forget. I mean, obviously we supporters, there's emotions involved when it comes to our clubs, right? So when you look at such things, such betrayal and all that. But players are humans as well, and they're also looking at their livelihoods. If another company comes and offers you a better pay and all that, you're probably gonna jump ship. You know. So George Maluleka's situation is he was negotiating with Sundowns because Kaizer Chiefs wasn't saying anything. So now he looked at his situation and said, "Am I guaranteed that Kaizer Chiefs is going to extend my contract? No. These guys are talking to me, so let me continue with the negotiations." They offered him whatever he offered, and then he accepted it, and that's the reality. And obviously, as fans, sometimes we obviously looking at it from an emotional point of view.
Is it also is it also not also a little bit look, George isn't the youngest of players, and he's only got a few years kind of left, right? And he was asking for a certain amount, and I think what Kaizer Chiefs, what happens is after the age of 32 or 33 or whatever it is, they don't want to pay their players that much. You know, they don't see that, they don't see the investment, they don't see that they'll get that return of investment. But you know, a team like Sundowns has enough money to just, yeah, okay, we'll give you that because we have a Patrice. You know what I'm saying?
But look, I'll say this, and this I'm saying it from an unbiased point of view. Yeah? The reality is, guys, Kaizer Chiefs is a big club. Pirates is a big club. Sundowns is a big club, and the financial muscle is there, without a doubt. Let's not kid ourselves. This financial muscle is there. It's just that there's transfer policies from each club. So Kaizer Chiefs have their own transfer policy or signing policy, same as Sundowns and all that. And this is obviously aligned with objectives and all that. Now, if Chiefs doesn't want to cough up money for certain players, people can't then blame other clubs who are willing to cough up the money for certain players. So, like for instance, George Maluleka, who I don't know if Kaizer Chiefs fans would consider him as a vital player for Chiefs or what, but we go back to Sundowns were the one who were willing to negotiate with him. Kaizer Chiefs wasn't. There's no foul play there. And it's look at the Castro situation. Castro was very reluctant to renew his contract.
Yeah.
We heard reports about he didn't like the fact that Middendorp was treating him the way he was treating him, and hence he was considering going somewhere else. Right? Maybe it could have been money. We don't know. But they've managed to tie him down for the next 2 years. And that's what it comes down to. It's the same thing with Kune. Kune is been a Chiefs. He probably considers himself as a top player. If he was going to stay, he's going to tell you, listen, you're going to have to pay me. We can go back to Kamabilat at Sundowns. Same situation. Kamabilat said, if Sundowns wants me to stay, this is how much I want. And Sundowns were like, no, we can't. Kaizer Chiefs came and they have the money. They offered him, he left. Simple. You know, so when it comes to the big three, I'll never say, but this one has more money than we all have money.
No, I would disagree. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Patrice Motsepe has a lot of money than all of our owners combined.
Yes.
Then all the all the Chiefs and Kozas.
He has more money. But if we look at let's say player contracts, if we look at let's say purchases that Sundowns made, Sundowns can Chiefs and Pirates can easily do that. Pirates has even shown us that they can. They went and bought Ndlovu. They bought 11 players.
Yes.
They showed that they can if they want to. It's the same thing with Chiefs, the way they did with Kamabilat. As the highest paid PSL player, they showed that they can. It's just that you guys don't want to. That's why I'm saying that we shouldn't say that, because how much money is Chiefs getting from Vodacom? You guys are the most marketed team in the country. You get them in terms of profits. If we look at revenues and stuff, with Sundowns, as much as Sundowns obviously has been doing well in competitions and all that, but if we look at money coming in the club, Chiefs has more money coming in than any other team. So we shouldn't come and say that Chiefs get money. If they want to, they can.
Yes, we need a sponsor for my channel. You heard that? Kaizer Chiefs, we need a sponsor. You got money. We need sponsors for my channel.
Me, I don't have money. Do you have money? Me, I don't.
Okay. We still talking about finances and money and stuff. The next question that I wanted to speak about is the clubs that are kind of struggling. We're talking about the riches here. Let's talk about the ones who are struggling. There's the Amazulus, and actually Cape Town City, who was supposed to be a big club.
Supersport as well.
Supersport as well. They've had to take wage cuts, like the staff and some of the players. Is it up to just the clubs to do this? Should the PSL or try and intervene and assist these clubs in some way, or even our government?
They should definitely.
How?
I don't wanna say much. I'll leave Yoli and Huitzi to comment, but I'll just touch on what I said earlier on, that I think PSL is not in a position to help out any club. I spoke about the fact that they're going to have to pay back some of the money from the broadcasting deal and the sponsors as well. So I don't think they're in a position, or they have the money to pay clubs. I mean, I'll just touch on a little bit on what the CEO of SuperSport said. He said, considering the situation, clubs will probably have to sell their players to cover up. I think if we look at, let's say, Aubrey Mudiba, who Sundowns wanted to buy, but he extended his contract with SuperSport, almost making it impossible to buy him. But considering the situation now, clubs are considering selling players, their top players. Maritzburg, a simple case, they're considering selling their top players to make up. So one can assume the same with other clubs, that to balance their sheets, they're looking to sell players so that they can at least secure their finances and all that. So I don't think PSL is in a position to help out, but I think clubs probably would want to sell their players now to make up.
Now I would expect some sort of assistance from PSL.
If you say you're going to sell your best players and you want to resume the season, then
it doesn't make sense.
It takes you back to the sentiment you had earlier about it's not fair if Chiefs gets the title or whatever it is. You need to, and the playing field isn't level then again, because you've lost your best players and now you must continue the season.
Exactly. And it's not because we wanted to lose the player, it's because of the circumstances. You get me? It's not fair, really.
Yeah, because the thing is, guys, if we look at this whole COVID-19, nobody can blame anyone. You can't say caused by.
We know who to blame.
That's the situation at hand, and everybody is trying to get out of this situation in the best possible way. Now we can look at Ajax Cape Town. Ajax Cape Town was the source of many clubs in the PSL in terms of producing players. Most young players went to Ajax Cape Town because they knew there's growth there, and then potentially go to whether Kaizer Chiefs or Pirates or wherever. Same thing with Maritzburg. Maritzburg, I don't know how many players teams have been raiding their top players. So this is not a new thing. It's been going on. It's something that it goes on in the world of football. Smaller clubs are likely to lose their best players to top clubs. And this is another situation, because remember, Bloemfontein Celtic is being sold right now because they've got financial problems. Yeah?
But their struggles have been going on for like ever. They've been having problems for longer than for the last 4 or 5 years. They've had their own internal struggles, their own internal problems and mismanagement and all these things.
Yes, but I'm just highlighting that. Look, I also have my sources. I had sources at Free State Stars before they got relegated, and I remember I was being told that, look, the situation is very bad. No sponsors. We don't even know if you're going to get paid or what. Now, we've been hearing that this season from certain clubs about players not knowing if they're going to get paid. Another example, Golden Arrows. As much as Steve Kompella was there, we know that players didn't even know if they were going to get paid or not. So you look at those situations, and then if you look at, let's say, if you have Knox Mutizwa at Golden Arrows, who's one of the top goal scorers, and then let's say Orlando Pirates comes and says, we want him for 20 million. You're not going to refuse that, and you're not going to cry foul. You're going to take it because you need that money. So. And that's
but is it fair to do that? Is it fair to do that during the season, though? during the season when it's not the transfer window. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's why we look. I'm basically attaching to my previous statement and saying we don't know what the calendar will be. If obviously if PSL extends, let's say for instance they say that we're going to resume, so that means the calendar will be extended. That means even if I want to buy a player, I can't. So that's what I'm saying. But if, let's say for instance, we are in the off season, whether it's now or later, clubs to basically make up, they're going to have to offload players.
Yeah, but G and Yolisa, you were saying the government or the PSL maybe more should fund these clubs, should try and help these clubs. How do you think that should be? Like, what's the model you think that should? How do you think they should help out? Or
what's the budget that he gave? There's supposed to be, if there isn't already, a certain amount allocated to, and there is. That's allocated to.
They get 2 million rand a month.
Exactly. So with that, they're supposed to, like, staff members, the staff members, like technical, whatnot. They're supposed to be paid or compensated with that. I don't understand what they would put it towards, if not for the people that are not earning right now. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Exactly. Everybody else is getting compensated. Why not staff members and the players? Why not? I don't get it.
I think that's a question we need to ask to the Minister of Sports. They should be coming in.
If we look at, let's say, the Employer Act, we speak about UIF. I think whether it's a professional sportsman or you are a doctor, a lawyer, whatever, I think it comes down to this. If your employer was contributing on your behalf, and if you've been contributing to the UIF, then you're entitled to claim for that. But if the employer didn't pay for UIF, if you didn't pay for UIF, then you're not entitled to claim for UIF, and it's as simple as that.
But then there's a problem there. These clubs should be paying UIF, no?
Yeah,
and the PSL clubs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm now generalizing and saying that we know that there's certain companies that are not paying UIF.
Yes.
Same as employers not paying UIF, and they're not entitled to claim. So we now can assume in saying that we're assuming that clubs are paying UIF, same as the players. Then they're entitled to claim in an event that an employer is unable to pay your salary. But if they didn't pay UIF, then they're going to have to deal with, they're going to have to obviously go to the unions and deal with the club. But when it comes to PSL, I think, look, it would be a donation of some sort if the PSL gets involved, but they're not obliged to.
Well, okay. I mean, not obliged is a bit of a strong statement to say. No?
It is what it is. Look, the contract that the PSL has with clubs is pre-games. You get paid for the games.
Yes.
The same as a simple contract between the PSL and broadcasters, let's say in this case SuperSport. It's saying SuperSport says, I will pay you for these games. If you're not playing these games and I'm not showing my subscribers or my whoever, I'm not going to pay you. It's as simple as that. And it's the same as the club saying, well, because you are not playing, I don't see why I should pay your salary.
No, but the thing is, look, besides the players, you have staff who, some guys, like, he's just like the boot room guy. He just polishes the players' boots or something. He's the cleaner or whatever.
Sure.
You can't say, we can't pay you now because there's no games. Only when you play games. Where else is you going to get the income from?
He's not playing.
In closing, from my end, né?
Yes.
In England, a club, I can't recall which club, but it was one of the top clubs. I think it's Man City. Is it Spurs?
I think it might be
there's a club that paid the security guards and all those guys who obviously they get paid per match.
No, actually all of them did that. Manchester United did that. Man City, yeah. Man City. But Spurs didn't want to do that. Yeah. Okay, but carry on.
But now what's highlighting that is, so basically they understood that they just did that for out of the goodness of their heart to say, listen, you were going to work for the whole season and you're going to get this much, but because there's no matches, we'll pay you so and so and so. But what about your Burnley? What about your Watford? What about, they're not doing that. They've got their own financial problems. There's pay cuts with players because, again, you go to the contracts. Contracts are game related. So you have all those things. Basically, it's all about money. Even the very same big clubs we talk about are struggling financially because they also get money per game. So hence I'm saying that they're not obliged to. If they do it, it's going to be because, listen, I'm in a position that I can. Same as, let's say, Patrice Motsepe saying, all my players will get full salaries. He's able to do that. But Chippa United is not able to do that. Golden Arrows is not able to do that. So but there's no obligation here.
But that's why there was a relief fund also for sports teams. Nazi Teto, the Minister of Sport, he announced the relief fund for teams like that. So there shouldn't be any reason. These teams should have, if they saw that they were going to be in financial struggles, then they should have went to the minister. If not the PSL, then they should have went to the minister and applied for that funding. Because
how much? Because we talk about a sports minister, so that means we're talking cricket, rugby, netball, volleyball, all the athletics. We're talking about every sport, and we know already with what's currently happening with this COVID-19 UIF 350 rand or whatever. There's problems there already. Some people saying they haven't even received the money.
Haven't received the money.
I haven't.
No, I also didn't. I'm also waiting for.
Oh, happily unemployed. No, guys, this is not a laughing matter. Like, I'm
it's not.
honest. Like I'm honestly
It is a real worry about, and I'm not too concerned about Chiefs because they haven't announced anything, but really worry about the other players and the staff members of those clubs. You know, who the teams are their lifeline. You know, their bread and butter. So it's. But I hope there's hope there's something coming up on the horizon. And yeah, let's round up some of the things here. If hypothetically we had to end the season now, quit, not quit, call it quits, but who would be your player of the season and your manager of the season? I'll start with G.
No. Okay, my player of the season would have to be Mahango. Guys, Ovana. Kabadino. Damn, guys. No, that guy, he had a pretty good season. And my manager, I don't know.
Say it.
Manager.
Say it.
I don't know.
We know. You know who you want to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be biased. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know.
Okay, we'll think about it. We'll come back.
But definitely Mahango. Player Mahango.
Okay. And Yolisa, who has been your player of the season?
With me, I'm not being biased, me. I'm really not. But like, if you guys think about it, like, it's with like my decision or my player isn't based on it isn't based on like Hori, the person had a good season like throughout the whole season, but it's based on the progress he's made, right? And for me, that's a pay, really, like honestly, from when he took over from Kune, he's progressed so much until he reached his peak. I mean, the derby, guys, come on. Like, definitely at pay. No doubt about that.
And is there a manager that stood out for you also? Like a manager who...
No.
I
don't have a manager that stood out for me. I wasn't really intrigued as much. Like there's no manager that actually like made me go like, actually, yeah. Although if I was forced to choose, I'd obviously say my manager because we're on the top of the league. So I mean, it only makes sense.
Thank you.
But also, I think maybe the new coach Wako Pirates.
Yeah.
I think he's had a pretty good season. The games that he's played, he has shown that he can. So if I was to also being unbiased, if I was to give it to him, to my best manager, I think I'd give it to him. But obviously, like, you know, an obvious decision would be Kaizer Chiefs, because I mean,
Goes for
Come
life.
on, Ivan,
For
tell
life,
us
guys.
about
For
your
life.
manager.
it's obvious.
Ivan.
It's obvious. It's
What
We
obvious.
don't even need to ask Ivan this question. We all know what he's going to say.
You guys don't even know what I was gonna say.
Wait, let him start with
Ivan.
player. Let him start with player of the season.
I have everything written here. Everything you're gonna say is written here. I know what you're gonna say, Ivan.
Well, look, I agree partly with Huiti. For me, currently I would say it's Mahango. I would say Lebohang Manyama. I was gonna add Nokovic, but considering the fact that he started off on fire, but defenders figured him out, and he was fading a bit. But whereas Mahango obviously is a leading goal scorer, he's there. Lebohang Manyama, the assist king, he's been the difference maker at Kaizer Chiefs. And then I can say, if I'm looking at, I did have another player. Who else did I have? But it's
Probably from Sundowns. You know.
No, it's not even. Grobler. Grobler has been a deciding factor in Super Sport. Yeah? So these three for me were going to be probably like the major guys for the PSL player of the season. When it comes to coach, for me it's as simple as this: whichever teams wins the league, the coach needs to win coach of the season. That's it. If
whichever player wins.
No, I'm talking about coach.
Whichever team wins.
Yeah, so if Kaizer Chiefs wins, then it's fair to say Middendorp must win coach of the season. If basically that's what it is. I'm not gonna continue and talk about. I'll just say whatever team wins the league, the coach must win coach of the season. That's it. Because we can talk about it's the same debate I've had a number of times where we can talk about an improved coach or a coach who took a team from relegation and then top 8 or whatever. But the biggest achievement in the league is winning the league. So you can acknowledge a coach from taking a team out of the bottom and putting in top 8. You can acknowledge them. But you can't then say they're the coach of the season. The coach of the season is the coach that won the league. Simple.
Cool.
I'm proud
of
you.
So, Middendorp. Definitely Middendorp. Not pizza with Samanya. Yeah, I agree. I don't actually agree that. Okay, no. In some ways, I was gonna say I am still gonna say Nukovic. I'll say why, and I don't totally. I agree that you said he had a dip in form towards maybe the last few games of the season, but he was a guy, an unknown guy, coming from some weird like league in Serbia or something, and came to our league and immediately to make an impact like that. Not a lot of players can do that. Walking into a top club also in the South African Premier League, being unknown, hardly speaking English, and to be able to communicate already with your players and gel with the team, and he runs everywhere, he's hardworking, everywhere on the pitch. And then also to be our leading goal scorer. For me, I think that's enough reason to give Sami Nukovic the player of the season. And it's a little bit of bias, but yes, it's a little bit of bias. Yes.
But Manyama is the one who's been feeding this guy the goals. Not only him,
no.
but he's also been feeding Castro.
The headers, yes.
Goals himself. So if you look at Manyama's contribution alone, from assist to goals that he scored, I mean, we will talk about the derby, the goal that he scored.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the goal that he had against, was it against Arrows? So he's been the
he had a good season. Manyama had a good season.
Arrows,
no, he's been having a good season. Yeah.
A moment of brilliance.
I can't take it away.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like in terms of his assists, the goals combined, you look at his contribution goal-wise to the team, he's by far, look, Nokovic is, like you said, for a guy who we've never seen, he came to the league, he scored the goals that he scored and all that. But if we look at Manyama, who the previous season people looked at as, and they thought, he's a flop, he's not the Manyama of before, but this season he stepped up. He's been providing. He's been there. He's been the main guy at Kaizer Chiefs.
Oh,
There's no way Manyama will be dropped.
I will have a star reserved for you. You deserve a star on your forehead.
But don't give him another star. They already have a star. We need a star here. We need a star. Don't give them another star. Cool, man, guys. Thanks. Oh yeah, and obviously I think Middendorf had a good season. From how I really had no belief in him at the beginning of the season because the way we played last season. I thought the football and everything was just, it was disappointing, and I had no hopes. And then to see the transition he made, and also I think he's won 3 or 4 manager of the months already. So I would give him manager of the season as well. So yeah, I think we've covered most of it that we wanted to in terms of the lockdown, COVID-19, how it's been affecting us and our feelings towards football. And I just wanted to end off on a little more personal notes for people who are like us, people who are making content, people who are running YouTube channels or whatever it is, creating. How are you guys, engaging with your audience still, or, keeping up, what are you guys doing?
We have no data.
How are you staying relevant? How are you guys staying relevant?
No, I think you guys have noticed. I've been doing some live videos. I try and on my YouTube channel, I try and upload at least every week so that people don't forget about me. I try and upload our old Football Stalker videos just to remind people that, hello, we are still alive, we're still here. Don't forget about us. And I also keep up with other soccer players. Like I've been keeping up with Lewu Piri, Bongani Zungu. It's been quite interesting to see them engage with people, outside football, just to get to know them on a personal level, their thinking capacity, so it's good to know that they're not just good players, but they're also good people, in general. So it's very, yeah.
Bongani Zungu uring.
Dude, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. Stop.
No.
Stop.
Do you guys realize? I died. Like, I don't know if you guys saw. Did you see what he said?
What did he say?
Did you?
About what?
Yeah.
What did he say about what?
Would you like to do the honors?
No. That's my husband we're talking about.
So we're busy talking, and then underwears are being thrown in the background. What's going on?
I saw something going on there. I saw something being thrown in the background. Was it a bra?
No, guys, it's socks.
Let's see. We want to see.
Was that Bongani Zungu throwing the bra when you heard
Whoa!
No comment.
Anyways, we move from Bongani Zungu. We move.
Okay, cool. Anyone else want to say anything about how you guys? Ivan,
look.
Are we keeping relevant? Ivan, tell us, how are you keeping relevant?
No, I was just gonna say that we participated in a number of challenges. The tissue challenge, the washing hand challenge, and
No rush
and the
challenge.
don't rush challenge and all those things, and also having like a compilation of best reactions from the supporters and all that, and trying to also create other platforms or discussions to talk to supporters about what's happening and all that. So, but yeah, we've been trying to stay relevant, and yeah, I mean, what can we do?
Honestly, hey.
We just have to be a little more. We have to think more creatively now. We have to think out of our comfort zones, our own boxes. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining me and having this amazing chat. We learned so much about you guys, opinions and how you feel about the season. And yeah, man, I appreciate it. So last time, give a shout out to the camera, into your lens, where we can follow you guys and also follow Football Stalkers. Give them a shout out. Go G.
Yo, guys, it's your girl, Black Girl G. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Black Girl G, Twitter at Rabuta Pisana, and YouTube at Black Girl G. Do the most so we can keep my channel growing and Chloe.
Okay, Miguel.
Nice. Yolisa, go for it.
Nah, it's simple, really. It's just y'all's underscore on Instagram, follow. J y'all's on Twitter, follow. And I wish I had a YouTube channel, but I wouldn't know what to do with it.
Not makeup tutorials. Everyone is doing makeup tutorials. There's too many.
No. Not if I had a YouTube channel, I'd probably argue with anyone and everyone. Like.
Nice. And Ivan, shout out Football Stalkers.
I mean, look, it's Football Stalkers at Football Stalkers. And it's the master tactician. They know. Okay, they know. It's a master tactician because of Ivan. And yeah, it was good. Thanks, man. Thanks for the invite.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Amakosi for Live. Don't forget, at Amakosi for Live. That's Live on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and like the videos. We'll be bringing more of these kind of Zoom videos, Zoom chats, or Instagram Live videos for you every week. Don't forget to tune in. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Away.
Sure.
You're watching Amakosi for Live. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Amakosi for Live, and give us a like on Facebook.